Hello guys, this is Sushant. So welcome to your channel, which is Sci Engineers. We had been uploading videos for your first year of engineering subjects like applied mathematics, engineering mechanics and basic electrical engineering. We will be continuing to do so with the uploading of the various videos on these topics. So for that you need to just subscribe to our channel to never miss a notification. You need to hit the bell icon which is just present besides the subscribe button. You need to share our videos and also like our videos so that it inspires us to make more videos to help you guys in your studies. We are associated with the Samartha Vidya group tuitions, which is for engineering and science students. We have been helping students for their preparation for their engineering first years and second years and also for their entrances exam, and we also help them in their board exams, which is for the 11th and 12th. So if you want to know about us, you can just email us at samarthavidya@gmail.com, or you can visit our Facebook page to know about us more. So today we are going to take a topic on your basic electrical engineering, which is your AC fundamentals. So let's get going. So as we said, we are going to begin with our AC fundamentals, which is your second module in your engineering first year subject, which is for basic electrical engineering. So we had already dealt with the DC circuit analysis, in which we had dealt with the mesh analysis, the Norton's method and many more such things. So if you are new to the channel, you can just go and watch those videos, which is present in the basic electrical playlist. So today we are going to discuss on the fundamentals which are required for your AC circuits. Now to begin with, we have to understand what basically a AC current or a AC voltage is. So in the earlier discussions, we had only dealing with the DC circuits, which basically are nothing but involving the DC currents and the DC voltages. That means that the voltages and the currents which will be flowing through any particular part of a circuit will be constant in nature. Now whenever you are dealing with your AC circuits, in that you have to understand that the currents and the voltages will be fluctuating. That means that the instantaneous values of the currents and the voltages which will be flowing through a particular part of a circuit will be changing with time. So to analyze the AC circuit, you have to first of all understand how to analyze the currents and the voltages which will be flowing. So before that, let us try to understand some of the definitions for your AC waveform. So whenever you are dealing with your AC circuits, you have to understand this AC waveform. This is one type of a AC waveform in which we are considering it to be a sine wave. So the equation for this particular waveform can be given by your Vt, that is your voltage, which is changing with time, will be equal to A into sine omega t. Now in this you have to understand that your A can be the maximum voltage which I will be getting from this particular waveform. The omega t is called as the angular frequency of this particular waveform, which is also written as 2 pi f. So in this case, your f is nothing but the frequency of this particular waveform. There are some of the basic definition which you should understand. The first one is called as a waveform. Now the meaning of waveform is it is nothing but the graphical representation of your alternating quantities like your voltages or current. So in this case, this is a graphical representation of, it can be a graphical representation of your voltage or it can be of your current. So basically whatever graphical representation, it will be called as a waveform. After that you have to understand that the peak value. The peak value is nothing but the maximum value, that is a maximum positive value or the maximum negative value which a particular AC quantity is having. So in this case, these are the peak values of this particular waveform. The next thing which you should understand is called as the cycle. So cycle is nothing but it is a repetition of the positive and the negative values in a particular fashion. So you can see that this particular is having a positive set of values and a negative set of values, and it will be continuing to do so in the same manner after a certain amount of time. So the repetition part which is occurring after every certain amount of time is called as a cycle. Now, once you understand the cycle, then you have to understand what is called as a time period. So time period is the amount of time which is required for the repetition of the cycle. So in this case, the time period will be this entire time which is taken for this particular waveform to repeat itself. So it is generally denoted by a capital T. The next definition is your frequency, which is nothing but the number of cycles which are repeated per second. The formula for your frequency, that is given by F, is given by 1 upon T. So it's basically 1 upon the time period. The unit for this is Hertz. The next definition is your instantaneous value. So instantaneous value is nothing but the value of the particular AC quantity at a given time. So if I say that I want to find what is going to be the value of my alternating quantity at T1, so it's nothing but this value which I will be getting in the graph. Or it's basically I am substituting T equals T1 in this particular equation. So that is called as instantaneous value. So next one is called as the average value. So average value, as the name suggests, it is just taking the average of the quantity which is in consideration. So in this case, you have to remember one thing, that since we are dealing with alternating quantities, and alternating quantities will be most of the times having a equal amount of positive value and equal amount of negative value. So whenever you are taking average of such signals, then in that case you will be getting always the average value as 0, because the positive will be compensated with the negative values. So in such cases, to find the average value of your AC quantities, you only consider half the time period. So in this case, you can see that the positive is almost equal to the negative part. So while calculating your average value, you will be taking only the half of it, that is half the time period. The next quantity is called as the RMS value, which is nothing but root mean square values. That means that we are finding the instantaneous values of a particular cycle, then we are taking squares of it and finding the mean of this value, and then taking the root of it. So it's basically nothing but root of your instantaneous value. Let us say that the instantaneous values are your I1, so you are taking a square of this, I2, you are taking a square of this, and so on till your nth value, that is the nth instantaneous value, divided by the number of samples which were taken. So this is going to be nothing but the RMS value of your current. In this case, it's your current, or in the same manner you can calculate your voltage. So let us try to understand how to calculate the average value and the RMS value of a particular signal. So let us take this particular signal which is given to me. So you can see that this particular waveform is nothing but your half wave rectifier circuit, which is being clipped off at your 70% of your maximum value. So after analyzing the signal, what you can see is that the signal is repeating after every pi. So that means the time period of the cycle basically is from this point, that is 0 to pi. So the time period is equal to pi. And since it does not have your positive and negative, and since it does not have any negative value, your average value will be calculated as per the time period only. You won't be taking the half of the time period while calculating the average value in this case. So let us go and check the formulas which are related to your average value and the RMS value. So if you can see from this particular formula, your V average is given by 1 upon T, which is nothing but your time period, into integral of 0 to T V theta d theta. That means that if you are calculating the average voltage, that is the quantity which is given is your voltage quantity, and you want to find the average value of it, then this equation will be having your V theta d theta. If you are having the current, then you will be having the I components over here. So in this case, let us understand what this V theta means. Now V theta is nothing but the equations of this particular waveform. So you can see that the equation of the waveform is having from 0 to some quantity here, it is following the sine wave. Then it is having a fixed value of your 0.707 Vm, and again it is following from this point to pi your sine wave. So for this, what you have to understand is that you have to find these quantities, that is your theta at this position. So to find that, what you need to just do is you need to just equate this equation, that is your V theta is given as 0.707 Vm, and since it is nothing but your sine waveform, you will be equating this to your standard waveform equation, that is Vm sine theta. So you can see that the Vm gets cancelled and you need to just have the sine theta, which is given as 0.707. So sine theta is 0.707, which is nothing but 1 upon root 2. So you have to find the values of theta, for which I will be getting this value, that is 1 upon root 2. So from this you will be getting your theta as pi by 4 and 3 pi by 4. Because in the first quadrant and the second quadrant you will be having a positive value of sine. So that is why you are getting these two values, that is pi by 4, which is basically for this value, and it's 3 pi by 4, which is nothing but this value. So after that you need to just write the equation of this. So you can see that your V theta is defined as from 0 to pi by 4, it is your sine theta, that is it is following the sine theta equation, but it is Vm sine theta which is being followed over here. So for theta, which is lying between pi by 4 and 0, then it is equal to, from pi by 4 to 3 pi by 4, it is following your a straight constant line, that is your 0.707 Vm, that is from your value of pi by 4 to 3 pi by 4, and after that it is going again with the sine wave, that is Vm sine theta, where theta is lying between 3 pi by 4 and pi. So let us go for the calculation of your average value. So you can see that V average is given by 1 upon t. So t in this case is nothing but the time period, which is given by 1 by pi. It is integration of 0 to pi of V theta. We have already discussed this V theta over here. So you need to now split it up into these sections. So it's going to be, for 0 to pi by 4, my V theta is given by Vm sine theta d theta, plus it's going to be from pi by 4 onwards to 3 pi by 4, it's given by Vm into 0.707 d theta, plus it's given by from 3 pi by 4 to pi, it is Vm sine theta d theta. So it's nothing but you have to find the integration of this. So it's going to be 1 by pi of, you can see that Vm is constant, so it will come outside. Then you will be having the derivative integration of your sine theta, which is nothing but minus cos theta. So it's minus cos theta and the limits for 0 to pi by 4. Plus you can see that this basically is 0.707 Vm, which is constant, and it is integration of your d theta. So integration of d theta is theta for the limits pi by 4 to 3 pi by 4, and similarly the last term, which is Vm, and minus cos theta for the limits 3 pi by 4 to pi. So after calculation you will be getting the value as 0.54 Vm, which is nothing but your average value of the given signal. So in the same manner, we will be continuing with this particular derivation, that is for your RMS value. We are seeing the VRMS value for this waveform. So it is basically root of, it's 1 by t. So again, it's going to be 1 by pi because the time period is 1 by pi of, you can again see that it's bifurcation into 3 different parts. So it's going to be 0 to pi by 4 for your Vm sin theta square, because now you are having the V square theta term over here. So you will be taking the square of this, so it's going to be Vm square sin theta d theta plus it's going to be integration from pi by 4 to 3 pi by 4 for your 0.707 square Vm square d theta, and finally from your 3 pi by 4 to pi, it's going to be Vm square sin square theta d theta. So you can see that it's Vm square, which is going to be the constant term which can come outside this integration, and you have the integration of your sin square theta. We'll be just discussing how to find the integration of sin square theta. So your integration of sin square theta can be found out using your formula for your double angle formula, that is your cos double angle formula. So it's nothing but you will be applying the sin square theta as 1 minus cos 2 theta divided by 2, and then you will be able to find the integration of this. So you can take the 1 by 2 outside, then it's integration of 1, which is theta, minus integration of cos 2 theta, which is nothing but sin 2 theta divided by 2. So these are the values you will be substituting in this, and then you will be substituting the limits of that in the appropriate manner. So you will be getting the value of your RMS as your 0.584 Vm. So this is basically how you will be finding your average value and the RMS value. So we are wrapping up with this particular video. We will be continuing with the discussion of your AC fundamentals in the upcoming video for your basic electrical engineering. So for that, you have to stay tuned and keep liking and sharing our videos with your friends. Let them know about our work for helping you guys in your preparation. The helping part will help us make more videos and help you indirectly. So keep sharing, keep watching, and happy learning. So this is Sushant signing off from Samartha Vidya classes, which is for engineering and science students. If you want to know about us, you can just look out in the description below, which is containing our email address and also our Facebook page link. So signing off, this is Sushant. So keep learning, keep watching, and happy learning. Bye.